know what this is? Your boy D47 all day for real, revisiting as much rugby league information as possible. Right now, a very, very wretched part in Australian Rugby League. Wretched era, I should say. Parramatta picking up no less than 6 consecutive wooden spoons, which is the most consecutive wooden spoons by any team ever. 1956 to 1961, they got 6 wooden spoons straight, believe it or not. And as per always, so you're not missing any crucial rugby league information, watching this video all the way through to the end. So, where do we begin? Where do we even begin with these 6 straight wooden spoons by Parramatta? We'll begin by saying that there were 18 games in the season, as you've probably worked out by now if you've been watching these wooden spoons video. If not, scroll through the playlist so you can see more wooden spoons. 18 games per season for the 6 seasons. That's 108 games altogether that Parramatta played. And they lost 91 out of 108 games, believe it or not. Absolutely whopping loss percentage. Losing 91 out of 108, winning only 16 and having 1 draw. The draw coming in this year, 1956. At least though, with 1956, that was nowhere near as pathetic, nowhere near as disgraceful, completely and utterly unacceptable as the next 5 wooden spoons. At least in 1956, Parramatta only ended up getting the spoon by a single fingernail, and at least they won 3 consecutive games at one point in 1956. Winning back-to-back games was something they were most definitely not renowned for, and they were certainly not winning 3 consecutive games at any point in the next 5 wooden spoons, which we'll get to once you keep watching these videos. So 1956, definitely the better out of all the 6 wooden spoons, but they did still get the spoon though. But at least I think they at least played well enough that they deserved to avoid it. They just got extremely unlucky with results going against them at the very end of the season. A lot of results all going against them at the same time, and that's how they got the wooden spoon, unfortunately. So, as per always, we go through the wooden spoon team's stats first off. So Parramatta in 1956 winning 4 games, losing 13 and having 1 draw for a total of 9 competition points. And their attack, they managed 224 points, and in defence conceded 381. So the for and against minus 157 sounds pretty horrible, but it's nowhere near as horrible as the years coming up after that. Like I said, this is the lesser of all the evils, so to speak. And Parramatta's top try scorer in 1956, his name was Bruce Mann, and he picked up 7 tries for them. And he also chimed in with another 2 goals for a total of 25 points for Parramatta, because tries used to be 3 points at the time. So he was the highest try scorer for them and the second highest point scorer. The highest point scorer for Parramatta in 1956, a player called Graham Laird, and he ended up getting 4 tries, 9 goals for a total of 30 points for Parramatta in the 1956 season. So that's pretty low too, unfortunately. But at least though, during 1956, at least, like, it wasn't all doom and gloom, it wasn't all wretched misery like the next 5 spoons are, which I can't believe how horrendous those are. At least, like I said, they lost the first 3 games, but then they had actually won 3 straight games, which is obviously the moment in the sun, which we do for every wooden spooner. So after losing the first 3 games in 1956, in round 4, Parramatta had managed to beat South 12-9. In round 5, beat Canterbury 22-21, and then in round 6, beat North 18-14. So they're actually going not bad after 6 rounds. But then they dropped the bundle and lost all the games round 7 up to round 12. In round 13, finally snapped out of it and had a 15-all draw of South. So that's the one draw that they had in their 6 wooden spoon years. And then in round 16, they had an outstanding win. They beat one of the better teams in Newtown, 20 points to 16. Outstanding, like a big upset, outstanding win over Newtown, 20 points to 16, round 16, 1956. So that excellent win there against the Jets, or the Blue Bags, as Newtown were also called at the time, that win there, we thought that Parramatta would then have enough firepower to end up avoiding the 1956 wooden spoon, but unfortunately that's not what unfolded. And even though, get this, with 2 rounds left, only 2 games left, round 17 and round 18, there were actually 4 teams in contention for the wooden spoon, believe it or not. We had Parramatta and Eastern Suburbs in equal last, both on 9 points, and we also had Norths and Canterbury in equal second last, both on 10 points. So there's 4 teams, all with a 1 in 4 chance of getting the spoon. But unfortunately for Parramatta, in round 17, they agonisingly fell short and lost to East 12-11 by a single point, 12-11. And then, believe it or not, in round 18, they lost by a single point again, this time falling short to West 16-15. So Poor old Para, losing by a single point in round 17 and in round 18, 1956. And then, so when they lost to East 12-11, that obviously enabled East to avoid the wooden spoon. But then in round 18, after Parramatta had lost to West 16-15, unfortunately for them, Norths managed to beat Newtown by a single point 11-10, and Canterbury managed to beat East 16 points to 8. And that's how Norths and Canterbury both avoided the wooden spoon, and Parramatta ended up with it by a single tiny little fingernail. And unfortunately for them, this was as good as it got, because 1957 up to 1961, if you keep watching, there's no way they were ever avoiding those wooden spoons with how horrendously they did perform, especially in defence in those seasons. So stay tuned for those wooden spoon videos coming up. As always, if you're still watching all the way through to the end, thank you so much for ongoing, brilliant, malevolent support. Your boy all day for real, handling that business on the grind at all times, D47 in this building for real. Thank you for watching. Toodaloo.